All right, we're back. Today we are going to show you, I'm going to show you how to train for special forces selection. If this is something you want to do, then listen up, because we're going to go through some key principles, how to structure your training, just some tips and tricks for how to actually start doing this. Start training for a selection. And you can do this for most selections, because what is a special force selection? Like, essentially, like, you're lifting stuff, you're running, you're doing some backpack stuff, and usually there's some water involved, usually, right? And we'll get back to exactly why. Now, let's get straight into this. Key principles. Like I said, most selections are the same but different. Like, this is a slang, like saying here in Thailand. It's same but different. So, right, you run, you walk with backpack, that's it, right? It's simple, but it's the way they structure it that's usually different, and it's like which amount the different stuff is used, right? So which amount are you doing swimming? Maybe you're going for like a naval special forces selection, maybe it's more water than more backpack, maybe like, okay, so it depends, always depends. Now what I'm outlining here is what worked for me, and what has worked for people I know, people who are in progress, who will attend special force selection this spring, and what has worked for current tier 1 operators who I know. A friend of mine, for example, who's working there right now, this is stuff that worked for him too. So we do this by using progressive overload. Now, you probably heard this term, right? It's just adding more, boom, 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 and suddenly you're at another level. But we're gonna make this as simple as you possibly can make it. Progressive overload, right? It's many ways to complicate it, but we're taking it back to the simple stuff. So, and for all we're doing here, it's like it says, it's simple, but it's not easy. So walking with a backpack, right? It's a very simple thing. You just walk, but it's not an easy thing in and of itself. So we're aiming to become a multi-dimensional warrior. What this means is that we're doing more than muscle. We're not bodybuilding, we're not powerlifting. What we're doing here is more than just muscle. Okay, we want to be able to pow in every direction. So we do some outside the box training, but we also do the general training. We go to the gym, we do our squats, we do our everything, right? We're gonna get back to this, how to do the gym stuff. We're gonna get back to this in a few slides. But our main goal is to be able to do it all, try and do it all. We don't need to be the best. We just need to be able to run, to lift, to swim, to climb, to jump, whatever. That's the goal, right? So if you want to label your training, label it as a jack of all trades type thing. Cardio, right? We're speedrunning this, right? This is a crash course in how to train for special force selection, I guess. But cardio, it's a marathon, not a sprint. What does this mean for cardio, right? We train for endurance and not for pace. So I'll link a program, by the way. This is all based on a program which I made, which is free. It's in the description. You can check out. But there's only one zone 5 cardio session in there. Now, zone 5, if you're not familiar with the zone training in cardio, it basically means that, okay, zone 5 and zone 1. And zone 1 is basically me right now, or, just above. It doesn't count as cardio, really. It's, you're cooking, and that's cardio, actually. Or, I think the only time you're not in zone 1 is when you're sleeping or laying on the couch. And zone 5 is basically just max, right? It's blood in the mouth, basically. You're running your ass off. And then you have zone 3 to zone 4, which is like the threshold between, okay, at zone 4, we start to build up some acid, and under that, we don't build up acid. So that's the difference there. So most of our training is going to be in zone 2. It's going to be like, okay, can you run? Run for 10 kilometers non-stop. Just being able to just talk a bit with it, and just above that, zone 3. So that's good. If you want more details on this, you can apply for personal coaching with me. I can help you out, no worries. Also, the point of all this is to be able to keep going, right? We're not chasing a sprint. We're chasing to be able to finish before the other guy. We just want to be able to keep going, right? The other guy might finish before us, but if he can't keep going for the duration of selection, of duration of the race, right, then right, you need to be able to keep going. Just keep going. So most of the stuff that you probably have some stuff in your selection that you're going through, which is like testing, just to see if you have that capability to, you know, be fast and work in those higher zones of cardio. But most of the stuff is going to be like low zone, or like lower end of the zone spectrum, and for a longer time, because that's usually where we operate, right? We walk a lot, you know, we run far distances, maybe to evade the enemy, right? That's the goal. So we need to be able to last longer. And a thing to avoid with this, a mistake I made when I was training for my first selection, which I failed the first time I went, is that I thought of all the cardio as the same, right? So you might get good at going for a long time without the backpack on, or you know, in sneakers, right? But it's not the same when you put the backpack on. It's not the same when you're running with a log. It's not the same. The cardio, and you know, sue me, because I'm not a, you know, doctor, right, in physiology. I just know this stuff from experience and from other people's experience. For some reason, when you put the backpack on, when you do the cardio with some different stuff, the whole thing changes, right? It's not just because of the weight. I don't know why, but my cardio when I first went to my first selection, which I failed, it was good. But when I put the backpack on, when I went to selection, it was, you know, not good enough, at least. Probably good, better than the average, but not good enough. So yeah, do that. Train for long, not for the sprints usually. Lifting, right? Everyone loves this, right? Gym stuff. Legs, back, and shoulders are our key points. We want to be able to focus in on those, and then we also, this isn't outlined in the slide, of course, but we want to have them chest muscle just for the push-ups, because there's probably going to be some push-ups during a special forces selection. That's very common, right? So just focus on the legs, back, and shoulders. Do some presses, right, to carry the logs, to carry the boats, and do some leg work and back work to be able to hold your backpack up. Or your, you know, if you've got to carry a guy, you know, you want to carry him here, you got to be able to, you know, walk. So legs, back, and shoulders for the most part. So we want to mix strength with endurance, and the key things here is that we want to be able to have power, but we also want to be able to have them going for long. So that means, like, for the leg training, for example, you can do like one day with heavy squats, be able to build up that strength. And for another day, you can do like sets of 30, 40, 50 on the lunges to really like work through that acid, like the lactate buildup inside the legs. And of course that sucks, you know, it's painful as hell, but that's really going to help you when you're, for example, when you're walking up a mountain with your backpack on, and you know, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But you just have to be able to be comfortable in that and push through it, and then get to the mountaintop, you know, then it's better. We got to train the abs too, because abs are what's basically, if we have a backpack on, right, the one thing that connects our backpack with our legs is our abs and our hips, right? Think about it. It's like with the car, right? Tires is what connects the car with the ground. So we need to have some good tires here to be able to have that friction, you know, that's an analogy. But yeah, we need to be able to train abs. And my tip for doing this is not just do the 50 reps of sit-ups, right? We want to be able to support ourselves even with heavy loads, because on some of these selections, you might face a backpack weights of up to like 60 kilos sometimes. You know, it all depends on selection. That's maybe the most difficult point about this, because, you know, every selection changes. You know, they might change the year to year. You know, I don't know what it's like in the US, but it's I know that a lot of these special forces selections are very similar. As you mentioned in the first part, it's usually like, yeah, walking my backpacks, water, running, lifting, some stuff, boom, you know, and with no sleep and no food as well, right? That's it. So, but yeah, train abs, and we train them heavy as well. So that means for sit-ups, do the dumbbells, have a dumbbell here, like you can do like 40 pounds, 45 pounds dumbbell, and just do sit-ups when I'm like heavy, like fast, you know, like a fast sit-up, like an explosive sit-up, really build that strength. Train it just like you would train your legs, right? So heavy, you know, and then also with the higher reps, you know, with the burn. That's good. Support muscles, you know, the adductors, you might not know what that is, but it's like stuff around the side of the legs and everything, because your hips, that was my biggest point I had to fix, was my hips. when I was running with a backpack, they would like slide out. I felt like Shakira, you know, hips don't lie. I felt like my, you know, so I had to support my hips, build some muscle on my hips, and I did some exercises for that. You might have to do specific exercises for hip flexors, if that's your weak point. Maybe your shoulder, if those are weak, maybe do some rotator cuff style exercises. If you have knee trouble, and a lot of people have knee trouble these days, right? My friend who's serving right now, he had knee trouble, so much knee trouble on his first, when he first went to selection the first time, that he had to, he couldn't continue selection. And so he fixed that, and now, you know, now he passed, and now he's serving as an operator, which is awesome. You know, he fixed his weak points. But just a quick plug. Go to Knees Over Toes guy on YouTube, because he has a lot of good stuff on knees. I've been doing some of his exercises, and my knees feel like they're on the build out of steel or something right now. It's crazy, you know. You can probably hit them with a baseball bat, and they wouldn't break. You're not going to be training like a bodybuilder or a regular gym bro with these type of with this type of training. If you're training for special forces exercises, you got to get out of the gym bro mindset, right? No bro splits either. Let's get into rock running and walking. All right, this is really the essential thing for like special forces selection, right? You see all these guys with backpacks, maybe they're having a log on top of the backpack. This is a huge injury risk, right? Being when we're deprived of sleep, deprived of food. That's why all the support muscle stuff is so important, by the way, because we want to support this stuff right here. This is the most taxing stuff. There's a lot of injury risk, so what I would do is not run too much with the backpack beforehand, right? Because something is gonna fuck up, and it's better that it fucks up during selection than before, okay? Because at least you can attend the selection and maybe push through in here. So don't do too much, too heavy rock running before you go, right? You know, although we want to, you know, decrease the risk of injury when we're actually at selection as well, though. But you know, that's one way to look at it. We program it so the way that we, you know, with the progressor overload that we mentioned in the beginning. Okay, so we start at the absolute basics, right? If you haven't done a lot of stuff with the backpack on before, start at 5 kilograms, right? You put a 5 kilo plate in your backpack and just walk, right? You just want to start with low weights, really low weights. And when you are done with these types of exercises, or I mean sessions where you're doing low weights, you are gonna feel like, holy shit, I didn't really do anything, right? That didn't feel like anything. But don't be fooled. Your body is still learning how to, you know, your body is still adapting to this, even though it might not feel like it. Because, you know, 5 kilos for, you know, whatever, 10 kilometers, that's not gonna feel like anything. Maybe not. Most guys, you know, it's not gonna feel like anything, but your body needs to get used to that. So start low, really low, and build your way up slowly. That's why most people who go through special forces training, they train years in advance, you know? A year, maybe 2 in advance. This is stuff you usually can't rush into, all right? But, you know, you can try. It's possible. Don't go too heavy when you're walking, because then you're also gonna injure yourself. And you're gonna strain something either in your neck. That's what I did when I trained for my absolute first special forces selection. I don't know which year that was. I failed that one too, due to I ran too much. I didn't focus on my hang-ups. So yeah, I've been through a lot of failures with this, so I know what works. Don't go too heavy though, because yeah, the first time I was doing this, yeah, I think I had probably like 60 kilos. And I basically just like, just like dragging my ass. It was snow on the road too, so don't do that. Start really, really light. And also, big point, no sneakers. You gotta get your Air Force One, whoop, throw them out the window, because we're not doing this in Air Force Ones or your sneakers or whatever, right? You gotta get some boots, some heavy duty boots. If you want more details on boots, get in touch with me personally. But don't go for the sneaker option, because I don't know what it's called in English. When you're walking and suddenly your foot goes like woof, you land on the side of your foot. That's going to happen if you don't have proper ankle support. That is going to happen if you're training in the right terrain. That's a big thing on this too. We can go to the next slide. This is the type of terrain you should be training in. Like, this is me training actually, with my map and my compass. So I'm out here doing some training with my brother. We so you can see me doing my navigation. I have a backpack on. This is, you know, I think this is 40 kilos. So this is the spring just before I went to selection, my first selection. So it's pretty heavy, but you know, not too heavy. But I don't know if you can see the boots I have on there, but you know, it's not sneakers, it's not Air Force Ones, it's not Air Jordans or whatever it's called. Make sure to have good ankle support and try yourself in this type of terrain, because that's really when you're gonna have all those muscles work, when you have to walk sideways basically on stones. Your feet are falling through falling through the grass. You know, the grass is not stable. It's not like an asphalt road. Big point. Swimming, right? As we mentioned, we want to be the jack of all trades, and swimming it's very different from everything else, because in swimming you can't attack, you can't go aggressive, you can't go like that, because if you do that, you're gonna pass out, or you're not gonna be able to last in the water. For example, a 25-meter underwater swim, you can't go like, or you can try. I mean, for some people they just do that, but it's a bad idea. That's why I think a lot of special forces selection, I think it's good that they have this, because it really is a changing point. Okay, you run, you sprint, and then you have to jump in the water, and you have to instantly calm yourself down. You can't, go like attack it. This is something I learned when we did a combat swimming course during my special forces training. Even if your hip flexors hurt from paddling with your feet under the water, you can't go like attack, because you're gonna run out of air, right? So you have to be like calm, but at the same time try to learn to push. Minimum 25 meter underwater. This is outlined in the training program, which is in description. You should be able to do this. I think anyone should be able to do this. It's not difficult. It does require some training though, if you haven't done a lot of swimming. But yeah, aim for that and you're probably good. I think my max is 50 or 60, but you don't need to go that long, right? So, but I know for most selections, I would believe. I don't know. I think the buds thing is 50. I'm not sure. It's, training for that too. It doesn't require too much training. Just learn how to do some apnea stuff and just be comfortable underwater, which is the last point. Testing with a friend. Me and the guy who is an operator right now, my friend. What we used to do is that we went to the pool sometimes in the camp we were stationed in, and we just we did our swimming, and then we had all these rings and stuff, and we did basically just put our hands in it, tied up the stuff basically, and just started trying to swim with it, trying to do the Navy SEAL with it, do the bobbing up and down, jumping from the down of the pool, the bottom of the pool and up. We did that, with the rings behind our, we had our hands behind our backs, we had our feet tied up. We tried jumping from 3 meters and just down in the water, getting comfortable with it. So you should do that. If you have a friend, I hope you have a friend, try bringing him along, find someone who's cool, who's not a pussy, and do this with. And if you have to do this in a public pool, my tip is that you don't want to be alerting the what is it called? The water guards? No, not the water guards. The lifeguards. The lifeguards. You don't want to be oh shit, this guy's trying to bob up and down, he looks like he's in trouble, but you're not. You're just training, right? So go to them beforehand and just tell them, hey, we're doing some military type training here. We have full control. So me and my friend, we're gonna be watching each other. I hope you don't mind. Thank you, right? You just want to go up and tell them that, because their job is to look for dangers like that. So you just want to make sure that they don't interrupt your training and you're not sounding any alarms. So that can be a good one to do. And yeah, do this, and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? So this picture for reference, by the way, it's just me and another guy. We during our winter escape, during my special forces training, we found this cabin, and we basically we went in there and got ourselves some food. So yeah, funny, it's nice, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to go in the description, download the program, right? It's free, it's totally free. It basically just outlines how to train, and it's a program for you, 12-week program to train for this. And what you should do with the program is you should not use it like, okay, 12 weeks before. You should do it sometimes before the selection itself. So don't go like 12 weeks before selection. Oh shit, I need to do Nico's program right now. Don't do that, okay? You're too late. If you're going to do that, just do like 4 weeks of it and then go. But don't do like the full thing and then go to selection. You need some, or if you need, like do some at least 14 weeks ahead. You can start this and have 2 weeks off and then you can go. Boom, easy. You want to have some rest before you go. You want to make sure you're on top. That's that. And yeah, if you need more help with this, get in touch with me personally. We can work something out. I'd love to hear from you. And with that, as again, check the description. And with that, take care. God bless. Boom.